Hello, this is Adrian, and I'm from Karen Astrology, and I've jumped on here to talk about this full moon in Virgo that we are experiencing tomorrow morning, Eastern Time at 6:37 in the morning. And we're going to be around 12 degrees of Virgo and Pisces for this. The moon will be at 12 degrees Virgo. This is an intense new moon. They're calling it a blood moon, and it is a really it's an intense moon because one, it's part of an eclipse, and two, it's the culmination of two very important cycles that happened last fall. So let me bring up the chart, and we will jump right into it. Whoops, here we go. All right. So here's the moon. As you can see, tomorrow, March 3rd at 6:30 a.m. on the East Coast. And you can see that the moon is conjunct the south node and the sun is conjunct the north node. And this is really the definition of an eclipse. An eclipse happens either at the new moon or at the full moon, but they're always conjunct the nodes. I think that this eclipse is going to be able to be seen in the Pacific. Um, and it will be, I think, the northwest corner of the United States will get to see it in full. The Pacific, it will be seen in full, and like in Hawaii. And it won't be seen at all in Africa or in Europe. And then to various degrees on either side. So let's jump into what we're talking about here. Like I mentioned, last fall, the end of August, I believe the 23rd of August, um, we had a new moon at 0 degrees of Virgo. And then again, at the 21st of September, we had another new moon in Virgo at 29 degrees. So we had one at 0 degrees, we had one at 29 degrees, really the beginning and the end. And to me, in my mind, how I'm trying to like discern what that really means is that the whole energy of Virgo is getting ready to change. We're having a whole new cycle. The old cycle is over. Now, I called my written Substack report the changing of the perception of reality. And this is the reason why I'm calling it this. Because Virgo is an earth sign, but it's also ruled by Mercury, which rules air sign. It's the process of thought and communication. So it rules Gemini and it rules Virgo. In Gemini, it's the function of gathering information in. Just, Geminis are very, very curious and gathering information and talking about the information that they are bringing in. And in Virgo, you take that information and you sort it and refine it and just to put it into a kind of an order and um, as a way to really take this thought process and turn it into something tangible and physical. It literally is the step-by-step process to creating something. It's the work sign. We do the work to create something. Um, and so it's literally taking air thought and turning it into earth. Um, in these different functions, we have, as humanity, have taken um, the whole Pisces, the world that we live in, and we've sought to take it piece by piece and determine where we are, looking at all the subtle details. It's like looking at the forest through the trees. So in Virgo, we're looking at each detail of tree. We're looking at the different kinds of leaves. We're looking at the different ways the trees take in water. We're looking at, the huge taxonomy of trees. We're looking at, the different kinds of woods that tree have, just to give you an idea of the detail that we have gathered and put into this understandable form. And so that's, a very positive function to take in the details and be able to sort them out to be able to be used. Um, the thing is that we've been doing this for a very long time. And as such, we are really conditioned in through our reality, through our ancestors, to look at everything through this lens of the details as being separate. While the opposite side, where the sun and the north node are right now, is Pisces, where it's everything is whole, where it's all one. It's one earthly realm of which we are all parts. And so while the south node has been focusing on the parts, the north node has been helping us to see and integrate the detail, the parts of us as the whole. So it's an interesting thing because here we are with Pluto in Aquarius, and Pluto in Aquarius is like breaking us free from any kind of limitation. Its opposite is Leo, and Leo is like this divine purpose that comes from the heart, where it's very different from everybody's purpose. And so we have purpose and then individuality opposing each other and trying to bring these things together. Um, and so while we're seeing these parts, we are still part of a whole. And that is really where Aquarius is about. We are individuals coming into a community of the whole. And we're really confronting that right now. And we will be for the next 19 years or so, 18 years now. We've been here for a year. But this is the detail of that right here. We're looking at the detail. We have this perception of everything being separate. We have, we are separate from each other. We perceive ourselves that way. We've got separate countries. We're separate states here in the United States. We are separated from the earth. We're separated from the animal kingdom. We have, we're just seeing ourselves as separate. And this can be detrimental because one, we don't treat each other as we are one and the same and that we are really part of a whole community. We end up, destroying, I don't know, a huge amount of species on the planet because of the way that we take the environment away. We're not seeing the environment as part of us. We see ourselves as quite separate. And I'm not going to get into the whole ecology of it all, but I think you understand what I'm talking about. So this is a new phase conjunction. The moon has already crossed the south node, and it did earlier in the morning. And it's now beginning a new phase. So these oppositions are integrations. It's where we take the two extremes and try to find a middle ground. And so the North Node, I'm going to jump across the screen here. The North Node is our future identity, where the past identity has been to see ourselves through the eyes of separation. The North Node sees ourselves through this lens of wholeness, oneness. And the energies that go along with this is acceptance, forgiveness, compassion, universal love. These are the energies, these Piscean energies. And we're working on, the North Node says our future identities will be aligned that way. And so this conjunction with the sun is also new. It's actually a closing phase, but the sun has already crossed over the North Node, picked up this Piscean energy, and is now carrying that as the purpose. The purpose in Pisces is to self-actualize this uh, oneness, this energy of oneness. And with the North Node there, it's like inner and outer oneness. We're just aligning with source energy. So, a couple of things that I want to talk about. I mean, there's a lot to talk about in um, this chart, but one of the things that I want to talk about that really stood out to me is that the moon being at 12 degrees Virgo is in the second decan of Virgo. The first decan of Virgo will be Virgo, and the second decan of Virgo is Capricorn. So in Capricorn, it's about mastering something. We're mastering this energy of separation, but to me, that's in a way where we're holding both sides of the extremes together to try to create a cohesive balance. Um, let's go right into this Mercury conjunction with the sun. So Mercury has recently um, moved retrograde. It started at 22 degrees. It is now at 20, moving toward the sun. The sun is moving toward it, so they will cross each other again. Mercury retrograde, which has been plaguing me all day with my computers and things, but Mercury is the function of gathering information from our environment. And when it's retrograde, it really is gathering information from within. And the mythology of Mercury, the god, could travel between the worlds, the inner world and the outer world. And this is what's happening when Mercury is retrograde. It's going inward and really seeing what's on the inside. It's in a water sign, so we're looking at our emotional field here. We're aligning our thought process with what emotions are coming up. The decan here is the third decan. And the third decan of Pisces is Scorpio. So this is a really deep and intense energy. We're looking down deep into these hidden emotions that are literally related to this South Node in Virgo, which what happens within Virgo is when we um, aren't feeling good enough, or when we're trying to improve ourselves so that we can succeed in life, what can happen is we begin to push parts of ourselves away, separate. This is part of this South Node in Virgo, where we see ourselves as separate and we separate parts of ourselves. So we're not whole. And part of this energy is to really heal that energy. But so the parts that we separate off from ourselves, perhaps I don't know, I can't even think of one off the top of my head. It could be anything, but there's something that doesn't match up. Maybe you have a funny laugh and somebody told you that your laugh was funny, and so that you end up um, trying to push that laugh away, and then you create some other kind of laugh that seems to be more acceptable so that you can fit in. And then what happens is this energy that has been submerged down into the subconscious gets projected out, where you become extremely critical of other people that have perhaps a similar laugh to the one that you have submerged. This is the deep kind of emotions that Mercury is bringing back up to the surface in its retrograde function right now. The other thing I found that was really interesting is Jupiter, which is the right brain, is focused on the emotional realm. And it's also retrograde, so it is inwardly looking at our inner truth and our inner belief structure about who we are. Who have we told ourselves that we were, or who have we we believed ourselves to be because we were trying to fit into this separatist reality that is just not true. And Jupiter is in the second decan of Cancer, which is Scorpio. So now that's two planets, two very important planets that are in the sign of Scorpio, really digging up what's deep into the subconscious, these pieces and parts of us that have been separated out. I want to point you to one more. Venus. Venus is about how we value things. It's about our values. It's about our what we need to survive in life. It's about our values, and it's also about our self-esteem. And I think that all of these things are related. It is also in the Scorpio decan, being in the third decan of Pisces. And so here we are bringing up these thoughts and beliefs and values about ourselves that have been pushed down. And this new moon is saying, nope, let's dig them down, bring them up to the surface, and let's integrate them. Let's embrace them. Let's hold them as part of our true selves. Chiron has been running through Aries for several years, and it will do so for a little bit longer. But Chiron is having us heal the wound that prevents us from showing up as our true selves. We have been in this separatist world trying to fit in our round pegs into square holes. And now it's time to embrace our round pegness. Um, and so that is the basic energy that I see that's happening. We've got a couple of other things. Well, you know that Neptune and Saturn have moved in. It was on the 20th of February. We're in now for a couple of weeks, and we are beginning to, now Saturn is the energy of crystallizing. We're beginning to crystallize this new sense of self. It's just starting to come in. Neptune is there. We are spiritualizing ourselves and crystallizing this new spiritual energy. So while Neptune isn't in Pisces, it rules Pisces and acts just like Pisces. So this is really a lot of spiritual energy that's coming in. And the spiritual energy is, I mean, it's varied, and it's all the parts in the whole. I'm trying to remember, somebody described it, oh, as a mosaic. Yeah, my friend described it as a mosaic, and I was like, wow, what a great description of the integration of of sorry, just a brain skip, of Virgo and Pisces. It's the pieces within the whole. And this is really what's coming in new and what we are crystallizing. Um, and all of these things are really kind of supportive of each other. Um, yeah, these energies are really bringing forth this newness. Well, I know that we can feel it. People that I've talked to are all feeling it. This energy is very electric. We're wanting to begin this new way, but it's almost like we're being held back a little bit. We're just not quite there. And I think that in April, I looked ahead a little bit, we're going to be having this huge stellium in Aries. And I think that's when things will really begin to take off. But they're beginning. Saturn is coming in and crystallizing the groundwork, and then all of these inner planets will begin to move forward and really bring in this new energy. So let's talk about Mars. Mars just is the last comer in. So Mars is the energy of desire. It's how Pluto, which is the unconscious desire, makes it conscious. So Mars is very instinctual energy. It rules Aries, so it's ruling these planets. So it's just kind of interesting that we have Neptune in Aries and we have Mars in Pisces. We call this a repeated theme. It's this energy really of dissolving the old desires and the old way we've acted and really picking up these new energies that are coming in from source. Source is moving us, y'all. And we're ending this cycle. I know it doesn't seem like it is, but I think that we just need a little bit of patience. It's not going to happen with the snap of the finger, but these energies are moving us out of this energy and into the ability to create something new. Moon is in a new phase. We're going to be working with this separation energy, this desire, this being a part of the whole energy very, very differently. We're going to be coming into our own individuality, and we are going to be sparked from within, each of us. We're all going to have different desires. Um, all the needs will be met. And yeah, that's how I'm seeing that. Finally, we've had recently the square between Mars and Uranus, and it was exact when the wars broke out in the Middle East. We're now a couple of days past, and this energy, I really want to talk about Uranus because Uranus is about values, right? It's about, sorry, not Uranus, Taurus is about values. Taurus um, is linked to Venus, and Venus is dissolving its old value structure, and Taurus is really breaking it apart. And Uranus, sorry, Mercury is retrograde. I'm trying to be one with it. Uranus fractures what is no longer useful. It fractures the value structure. Uranus is the higher mind. So it's working through the mind energy. And it also is the higher version of Mercury. So this is where we'll get downloads from the external world. And basically, what this is saying, this Uranus rules the Pluto for this whole next cycle through, which is going to be about 18 more years. And it's really trying to break us free from a value structure and a perception, a way that we have seen reality, and that way we've seen reality has created particular values. And those values are no longer serving humanity. And so the universe is going to break them apart. This square says we've carried these desires um, to act in a particular way, to want particular things, and this is ending. These desires and this action that supports the the desires that support the action, they're all dissolving. And it's a brand new, it's brand new in. We're going to be in this Mars will be in Pisces for some time, working through. I think by April it should make its way into Aries. Um, But we're dissolving this and picking up a new, more compassionate way of acting, a compassionate way, a way of forgiving ourselves and others, and really leading to this, by the way, is a third quarter square. Third quarter square is when we break free from the belief structures of the status quo, and right now, the status quo is warring. Um, and we're going to break free from that and begin to follow our own truth. And if our truth is aligning with the source through compassion and oneness, this is where we make the choice to follow our own truth or to continue following the truth of the external. And the desire is to break free of the value system and to, personally, I think that it's time, very much time to value human life. over these material things. But that's just me. Let's see. Yeah, I think I've really discussed pretty much all of what I want to say about this chart. It's a very intense moon. You know, we're all feeling it. My suggestion for this moon, if you have the freedom to be able to spend some time internalizing and feeling what kind of feelings are coming up, and, meditation, sitting with them, just allow them to be and know that all the things are okay and embrace them, embrace yourself, embrace those things that you've pushed down and let's try to become whole. It's part of it is our own actions. And yeah, we all have to do the work to get there. So yeah, that's what I have to say about this moon. Um, I hope that this was helpful for you, and I'm going to link my Substack account, which is a very more detailed report about what these energies are. It'll link it in the comments below, and also if you're interested in me looking at your chart to see how these energies are affecting you personally, reach out to me at my website, and it will also be linked in the comments below. And I hope you all have a very happy and peaceful full moon in Virgo. Take care. Thanks for listening.